What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Thirsty Thursday, and we have some news, which might be good news. There's a picture out there with Dak Prescott, Will Grier, and some of the receivers and things doing some work together. I know Will Grier's there, of course, because he's the backup quarterback and the only other quarterback on the roster at the moment. We've, of course, heard rumors that the Cowboys might be interested in trading for Joe Middleton. And I guess there's no interest in Trey Lance. My, how that guy is falling off the face of the earth. But we know that Jalen Tolbert was there, Jalen Brooks is there, Ryan Fenoy was there, Brett Ford Spam was there, as well as some others, and they're getting some work out and things. That's good because, well, next month we actually start having OTAs. The thing is, we have the idiot yesterday there in Cleveland talking about Dak Prescott and trading for him and saying that he's injured and recovering and that he may not be ready to start training camp. Now, I want to back up a little bit here because the thing with the hamstring is when you tear a hamstring, until it's fully healed, that sucker can go again. It can just go again. And so people are going through and saying, oh man, Dak Prescott, he's not going to heal, this, that, and the other. But I want to keep something in mind here. I want you to think back because it was August 25th of the 22 season that in practice, the day after Micah Parsons put a move on Tyron Smith, that I swear, I think that was the beginning of that hamstring going. I really and truly believe that was the beginning of that hamstring tearing off the bone, that practice before. In practice the next day, he's going, untouched. He's actually going to the second level to get at the linebacker, and his hamstring ripped. The same type of an injury that Dak Prescott had, where the hamstring is taking the muscles and they're attaching it to the back of the leg. Okay, it becomes it's tendons basically, and the tendons rip right off of the bone. And so they go in, and what they do is basically they take the tendons, they drill a hole into the back of the bone, and they sew it back on there, and then it starts to grow back. Now, here's where it's interesting because as we go through and we say, he may not be ready for training camp. Tyron Smith had his August 25th. He came back and played December 17th and played the last 4 games of that season. So we're talking about it was 4 months of time for healing with Tyron Smith. We know Tyron Smith has had all kinds of issues, back, elbow, knee, I mean, you name it. Tyron Smith, the Warrior, has had it. But he came back in 4 months. Now, for Dak, right now, we're about at 5 months on that healing process and things, which is about the same, a little bit more time than what Tyron Smith had. Now, I guess we could say also complicating that is the fact that Dak Prescott had the other injury on his ankle, and they may be doing more work or taking it easy because there's not a sense of urgency that he's got to hurry up and get out on the field. So they're going to make sure that that thing is 100% right. But if he's out there throwing, contrary to what a lot of people believe, they always talk about arm strength, which is true. You do need to have arm. But see, throwing and throwing motion isn't just the arm. A lot of times you'll see a bad pass and they'll talk about the mechanics of their feet because it's instrumental, because basically your body is becoming like a whip. Your arm and your hand are the final part of that, but you're stepping into it and you're pulling your body around using your other arm and things and your elbow to help drive, as well as that whipping action of your legs. So if he's out there throwing now, and I hadn't heard if he was throwing it, maybe he's a coach on the field. I did not hear that he was throwing, so don't quote me on that. However, him being around and moving and things like that are all really, really good signs for him getting back on the field. And hopefully he will be 100% and being able to go as far as OTAs, optional team activities. I don't know why they call them optional, because they're really not optional. You need to have your ass there unless you're a Micah Parsons, but really he needs to have his ass there working out. I honestly truly believe that when you don't have those guys there fully, especially when you have a new defensive coordinator like we did last year, that maybe that was part of the reason why Micah Parsons started out the season not doing really good. Not just him, but the defense in general, because we had a new defensive coordinator. You didn't have Micah except for the mandatory part of it. You end up bringing in Lawson, Linville, Joseph. You signed those guys later on. So it took several weeks, if not months, for everybody to understand what's the philosophy here and start playing. I want to hit the ground running. I don't want any of this delayed. That's why I want to get Micah Parsons' deal done and out of the way. I want everybody there healthy, working out in OTAs to try and become the best players that they can be. So that's my thoughts on the whole thing, and hopefully Dak will be in great shape and ready to rock and roll, dudes. Today, compared to yesterday, damn, it's the polar opposite. Yesterday, it was so crazy how much shit was going on with the Cowboys. You just couldn't keep up. You literally just could not keep up with all of the stuff that was going on. It was crazy. I do like to have a few things that are happening and so on, but yesterday, that was just too much. Way too much. Alrighty. Working on this kitchen. I gotta go pick up the sink, building the cabinets and things, and I got a farm sink that goes on it. I can't remember the final dimensions of the sink itself. It's made to sit on top of the cabinet, so it's not a standard size cabinet that you have to make for it. You have to make kind of a different cabinet to make it work. So that's what I've got to go do right now. Get my shit for that. Alrighty, good people. As always, I appreciate you. Peace out.